Okay, I am so giggly. Let me breathe. Breathe. Okay, I had my first myofunctional therapy assessment, and we are going to break it down. Let's get into it. We're going to have a little libations. Well, this is my vino. This is grapefruit. It's so good. So refreshing. This is called Vina. It's a prebiotic soda, and it has fiber and trace minerals, and it's really good for the tum-tum. At the office, and I should say, in case you haven't watched my prior video, I am going to a myofunctional therapist for an assessment for my tongue tie to see if my tongue tie is causing all of these issues that I've had for pretty much forever. And by issues, I mean chronic neck and shoulder pain, hip pain, jaw pain, forward neck posture, there's the clenching, TMJ, snoring. There are so many different symptoms that I have been looking for answers with no luck for pretty much since I was a teenager. I arrive at my appointment and I meet with Minette, who is extraordinary. Let me just tell you, she is so wickedly smart and knowledgeable about all things to do with tongue tie in the mouth. I was so impressed from the get-go. But here's what we did. First of all, after doing my initial assessment of, all of the aches and pains, the general list that you do when you do an intake form, we did that. We went through, have you had any surgeries? What issues do you have? Just kind of the basic kind of questions. Why are you here today? We did that. And then we got down to business. First, she had me take off my shoes, and then she had me stand in front of this board, and then she had a camera and video, and she would have me stand straight, and she would do pictures, and then have me kind of, I had to do like this, and then smile, big, different motions with my mouth. She'd take pictures, and then she kind of had me go to one side and do some similar things with my mouth, clenching, not opening, doing that kind of thing. So she took those pictures, and then we went back into the other office, and then she started testing my mouth. Did the same test that I did online where I opened my mouth, she measured, opened my mouth with the tongue, measured, and it was about 40 inches, 40 centimeters wide that I could open it. And then when I did the under with my tongue, it was half that. It was barely 20. So it was half, which it should be the same amount that you can open your mouth versus with the tongue in the back. Then she started, let's see, what did she do next? She started checking around, first of all, to see kind of what's going on with the tongue tie. And what she found was, I have one in the front, which is called, I have notes, which is called the anterior front tie. And I even see this little round ball? That's like a trapped gland that's in there. And then I have what is called the posterior tongue tie in the bottom. But hey, mine is special because it's called the Eiffel Tower, because the tie down at the bottom is so fibrous, so much fascia, it's like this at the bottom. After doing all the different assessments that she did, I came out to be a number 3. So it grades you 1, 2, 3, 4th being the worst, and I'm a 3. She then had me stick out my tongue, and then stick out my tongue and make it go left and make it go right. And you're supposed to be able to stick out your tongue and move it left and right, and this jaw is not supposed to move. So I stick it out. I can't do it without moving my jaw. My jaw has been overcompensating all these years because of those darn tongue ties. She stuck her fingers in my ear and had me open and close, and there was clicking. It's really bad, prominent on this side. She stuck her hands in my mouth, and again, you could feel a lot going on with the TMJ. She said, obviously, even when I talk, there's so much strain. You can see this. There's so much strain in my neck that I'm overcompensating because my tongue is not, it's tied. And had me do a water drinking test where I drink with a straw, and then also when I drink with the bottle. And so I drank. Weird, but because I'm just so used to doing what I do, because this is what I've always done. But she's like, you purse your lips. She said, you're not supposed to do that. When I'm drinking, each time I take a swallow, I purse my lips. And of course she videotaped me so I could see it. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. She had me eat. She said, okay, we're gonna eat. So she gave me these little veggie sticks and she said, eat them to chew it to where you're ready to swallow, and then don't swallow. And then you're gonna open your mouth, so that she takes a video of what's going on, like how I'm chewing. And it was very telling. First of all, I chew on one side more than the other, which I had definitely noticed. And she said, you're not using your tongue at all. Like I'm overcompensating to chew. And also when I chew, there's this kind of motion back and forth because, again, the tongue should be helping you so that you evenly, from what I'm learning, so that you are evenly chewing. But because my little tongue is is tied down, I have learned and, overcompensated with my teeth and with my jaws. So she's feeling around in my mouth, and then she says, oh, and you've got bone spurs. She goes, think of them like bunions in the mouth. And I thought, well, I'm not going to tell anybody that. Here I am. I'm telling you that she says I've got bunions in my mouth. What happens is that, and I didn't even know it. Now, of course, I'm like obsessed about it. It's like in here, you can kind of feel it. And then at the top of the roof of the mouth, she says that it's so much pressure, kind of like a diamond, but your mouth is clenching so much pressure, and it's creating bone spurs in the mouth. And I said, oh, that's bad. Does it go away? And it doesn't really go away. She said, but some people have to have surgery. Like, I'm not getting surgery for it. And luckily it's not that bad. But there was a lady that she had that had it really bad, and it got so much to where it was crowding her mouth and she couldn't breathe. So bone spurs are not good. And she had me pronounce different letters like S, T, R, V, M, N. I can't remember which letters I pronounced wrong, but apparently the way that I pronounce them, it comes out sounding nice and normal, but my tongue placement isn't proper to, as far as proper speech. She also had me do this thing where I drank water, and then I'm supposed to keep the water on the tongue, like your tongue's supposed to have a bowl. Mine doesn't have a bowl, it's just pretty flat. And you're supposed to hold it and it not drip. Well, I couldn't do that very well. Tested, can I do the taco? Not really. Of course, she felt my neck and my shoulders, and she's like, oh my gosh. She goes, you are tight as a rock. And I said, it's always that way. And like I said, she videotaped me for an hour and 90 minutes, And you could see all of what she was saying. It was so evident. And it's crazy because you're so used to doing something all your life, you don't realize that you're doing something wrong or that you're overcompensating. And she says, really, you've done a really good job of overcompensating to where maybe people wouldn't know, but what's going on the inside and also the long term, you're definitely, she goes, Vanessa, I highly recommend that you get your tongue ties taken care of. So here's the plan. So the plan is it's going to take a minimum, she usually does packages because you have to get this myotherapy function prior to getting the tongue release and then post-release. Because one, I have to retrain my mouth and my tongue to do what it needs to do. Because if I don't do that, and then I just have the surgery, first of all, clients will have lisps, will have all kind of issues. And if you don't do the exercises afterwards, that tongue tie will grow back. Like that fascia will grow back very quickly. So it is really a commitment. But again, my doctor that I plan on seeing won't even take me until I am released from a licensed myofunctional therapist to say she's ready, she's strong enough to do the surgery. So I made the commitment, and it will probably be about 15 sessions minimum. Could be a little bit more depending on how things go after. My whole point is I want to just get it done so that I can have the procedure. I don't care how long it takes afterwards, but I would really love that it can hopefully be condensed down a little bit in time, just because I'd love to have the relief. We scheduled me for my first appointment on Wednesday, this next Wednesday, but she called me this morning and said she had a client that canceled at 1 o'clock today. Would I be interested? And of course I was thinking, that's basically 1 week earlier for me to get the tongue tie. So yes, I'm in. So I'm going to make the next video that will be my first official myofunctional therapy session. I'm going to break that down for you and tell you how it went today. I have hope. For the first time, I honestly believe I might be nearing the end of virtually lifelong pain. I'm telling you, if you have unexplained chronic pain or even explained TMJ pain, check your tongue tie. God, we're doing a sleep test too. We can see what's really going on with my sleep.